But one of the biggest mistakes I see is guys want to use, a 80 foot or 60 foot. Oh, look at there. Look right there. That's exactly what we're looking for. So you can see, I'm gonna zoom in on this. Actually, I'm going to change my active pane. So this is a little isolated piece of structure, exactly like what I'm talking about. So look at that. It looks like a metal boat lift is exactly what it looks like. So we're gonna scroll over there and put a waypoint on that dude, and we're gonna line up and see if we can catch one on it. And that's the beauty of the Humminbirds. When you have see your isolated target out there, I scroll over to it, it stops scrolling, and then I put my cursor on it, hit mark, waypoint created. It's that easy. Then I can exit out of that and go straight to my map, and right there is the waypoint we just marked. So now I'm going to show you how to properly line up on an isolated target. So we're going to spin the boat around here. And one cool feature with the Humminbird Helix is I've got a vector heading going out directly from the bow of my boat. So I've got this green line, and it shows me my distance to the 3 hash marks. So when I zoom in to scale, I'm on a 100-foot scale right now. My first line there is 160 feet from the bow of the boat. Now that's a little farther than I want to cast. So I'm going to zoom into a 50-foot scale, and now my first line's at 60 feet, my second line's at 120 feet, and my waypoint's right here. So right now I'm fixing to be at 180 feet from my waypoint, going straight toward it, and I'll get a line up on the bank. So there's a dock right in front of me. So I'm idling in. I'm going to get up to the 120-foot hash mark, and I'm going to stop the boat. So the boat is stopped right here at 120 feet. I'm sitting here. I know where my target is. It's straight towards that boat dock from my current position at 120 feet. So now I can jump up there, find it on the 360, make an accurate cast on the first cast, hit the structure, and catch fish. All right, so I've pulled up to the isolated target. I showed you how to line up on it. I've got my 360 here, and you can see this is the isolated target right here. There's nothing else on that 360 screen but this one piece of structure. And I know it's at the 12 o'clock to 11 o'clock position straight in front of me, so I can hit that on the very first cast just by standing here and throwing at the 11 o'clock position. That target is right that direction. So I can make that one cast, hit it every time, makes me a whole lot more efficient using this 360 and being able to see exactly where that stuff is. And the beauty of the 360 is it doesn't mount on the trolling motor shaft. So I can turn this trolling motor any direction I want to, and that target is going to always stay in that position in relative to the direction the boat is pointed. So I don't have to constantly swing the trolling motor foot pedal side to side to see my target. And now you can see on this graph we're coming up on, there's some fish setting around the edge of it. All right, and so now we've got our isolated target here on the 360. We can see some fish on our graph. But one other trick I want to show you on your mapping up front when you're setting up on isolated stuff to help you. You can see I don't have any waypoints around this. The only waypoint I have is on the structure itself, because when I approach this structure, I'm going to approach it based on wind direction. If I want the wind in my back or if I want the wind in my face, I want to be able to approach from different angles and not have to have a circle of waypoints around the piece of structure. So when I line up on it the way I showed you back at the console, what I do when I get up to the bow, I'll come over here, I've got my map screen active on my Humminbird Helix 12. I just hit this cursor. And what that does, it brings up the cursor on my current position. So I've got the little icon right there on my current position, and it doesn't matter where the boat moves, that icon's going to stay right there. So if I drift off my target, or if I'm not sure where my boat position needs to be, all I have to do is troll back to this icon, and I know if I throw in the direction that I lined up, I'm gonna hit my target. So if you lose your positioning, which sometimes it's hard to maintain where you're exactly at offshore if you don't have landmarks to make up. So see how we're drifting off the cursor right now? Say I just caught one. I went to the back, I coiled, I drifted off my mark. I know all I need to do is get on the trolling motor, go right back to this cursor, and that's the spot I'm setting. And I can do that with any wind direction. So say the wind changes direction tomorrow and the wind's blowing from a different direction and I need to be setting over here, I would do the same lineup from the console. When I seen it on my 360, I would put my cursor up, lock in my boat position, and then I don't have to have a cluster of waypoints surrounding the target and cluttering up the screen. I can still see my graph, everyth's good to go.
It's Mike Iaconelli. This is Bass U TV.
Here's what's awesome about Bass U TV.
You get the top instructors.
You will learn things at Bass U that you will learn nowhere else.
We take the mystery and the myths out of bass fishing.
Real tools that help you catch more fish consistently.
At Bass U TV, shoes are optional.
And I like turtles.
And that's why you want to check out Bass U TV.
Join the Bass U family.
Welcome to Bass U TV.